Our fan spotlight with Heather Hatfield. You can follow her on Twitter at HH77019. Heather, thanks for joining us this afternoon on the Killer Bees. How's it going today?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing
Good.
well. Wearing the Astros jersey. How long have you been a fan of the local nine?
Since I was a kid, but I've been a season ticket holder since last year. I just had a feeling about last year. I was like, let's just do this. So you're welcome, Houston.
You did it. Yeah.
The good luck charm they all needed. Now, was there a lot of perks since then, and with all the things we see now with the Texans with their fan council and then the benefits? But I think just being a season ticket holder, it seems like Jim Crane has made sure that season ticket holders get taken care of in terms of, I don't know if it's rings and some of the giveaway things and things like that. But it seems like he does a good job being concerned about the ticket holders of the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, you get just the pre-sale on the you get your strip, for the playoffs, but you also get a pre-sale. So like if you have friends that want to go or something like that, that's really nice to be able to get extra tickets. But there's extra this year. They have some little thing where you get some points in your app, so you can go do BP. You can get like a pair of tickets to the Gallagher Club, stuff like that.
What are you saving up for?
Probably Gallagher Club.
Gallagher Club. I think that's what I would go with too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is that the underneath?
No, it's like on the left field line now. They added it last year, I think, was the first year.
It's pretty cool. We were there for, actually, it was 2021 because I was there to watch Game 6 of the World Series. Exactly. So I was glad I wasn't, like, really in it. But they feed you really well, and you have to pay for booze, but apart from that, it's
usually the case. Good. Usually the case. You mentioned Game 6. Was that last year, the World Series that you were
in? Before. So I went last year, too. So I was there, but I pretty much left my body. I don't remember much of that game at all.
I'm sure everybody at Minute Maid Park was the same way. Because I was going to ask you, many people say that the Yordan Alvarez home run, Game 6 last year's World Series, is the single loudest moment in Houston Astros history.
That was really loud, but I was also there for ALDS 1 when the walk-off, which was crazy. And we were across the aisle from Yuli's parents. So I got a really cool video, and I didn't realize that Yordan's parents were right on the other side. So you see them kind of going like this, and then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh. So watching that back was really cool.
How pleased are you with where the Astros are right now? I mean, you had the click era ended, and then we all talk about what Bagwell did in a short period of time with or without Jim Crane. Mm-hmm. But now you get such a mixed bag of fans that panicked early, but you still see the signs of a team that can compete for a World Series.
Our record is basically the same at this time as it was last year. We always have a little bit of a slow start, one or two. I mean, Bregman, obviously, he's usually a fairly slow starter. What is he, 12 games in on a hitting streak right now? I brought up Yuli, so of course I'm a little sad for that. But
not an Abreu fan?
I like him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting for him.
But you're not happy.
But I'm sad.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not. I'm just sad. Okay. I feel like they could have made some room for Yuli, but it is what it is,
Heather Hatfield joining us, our fan spotlight. You can follow her on Twitter at HH77019. We Blankers and I, we never agree. He's like my baby brother. We never agree on things. Earlier, we were talking about what's the biggest surprise for the Houston Astros so far. Could you settle an argument for us? Who is your biggest surprise? Any Astro player currently right now, who is the one that has caught you the most off guard?
So there's a good surprise and there's a bad surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're listening.
But that's just in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, Dubon, I feel like is the good surprise. Like that gives us some depth in the infield. And honestly, because last year, when he came up to the plate, especially in the playoffs, we were all like,
out.
No, exactly, which is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Diaz. And I'm happy for him that he got a great contract in Oakland. But honestly, I'm surprised that Abreu is like not really figured it out. I feel like he's just a little lost, but I think getting him out of the 4 is going to help him some. I mean, last night he was in the 6. I feel like the maneuvering that Dusty's done with the lineup these last few days, I think he might have found it. Bregman being in the 4, I'm all right with that.
Well, his month of June so far is off to a pretty darn good start.
I'm all right with that. And Pena in the 2, good with that. We'll see if Uncle Mike makes it back, but then what happens? Who goes?
Right.
You've got Chaz who hit the hardest hit home run at a 102.5 the other day out of anybody in the MLB all year. No one else has hit a harder ball out of the ballpark.
Sheesh.
No one. And he's a part-time player.
Yeah.
And then you've got then Julks with the Grand Slam last night.
Go
That's
Cougs.
like, I mean, there's so many surprises, but I'm going to say top and bottom, I'm going to go Dubon and Abreu.
You mentioned-
and honestly, the injuries on the pitching
Yeah,
staff.
well, that's
so
where I
I
was
mean,
going.
there's a handful.
You mentioned Brantley, but I think that the focus of most diehard Astros fans is what, if any, can we expect from Brantley and McCullers? Because they have been staples of this run. People love them. They want them to succeed. They want to see them. We haven't seen Brantley, and we don't know from day to day how day to day Lance is.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on those guys?
Brantley, it's been basically a year, right? It was sometime in June last year.
Maybe more than that. Yeah.
I think it was sometime in June last year. He's just his presence. He's steady Eddie. So I would think if he were able to get back, that he would probably be DHing some, just to kind of ease him in. Lance, last year he didn't come in until August, and he was good. And honestly, I feel like I was a little nervous when Dusty brought him back in for a second go in the ALDS against Chicago, and I feel like since then, and then he hit the elbow and the celebration, and it's just like there have been a couple of little things to point to, but I think both of those guys' leadership. I mean, I feel like losing Correa was massive for leadership, and quite frankly, Yuli. Just there's some chemistry that still needs to be worked out.
They need mound visits, don't they?
Yeah, and I think Altuve being back has helped some with that, leadership, even though but just on the field. But I think they're really missing Yuli, Correa. There's just a little bit of a chemistry piece that I think hopefully materializes.
If you could have one, only one, Brantley or McCullers, which one you want?
I'm going to say Brantley. That's just
Really?
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, just because he's, like I said, steady Eddie. If he can be that steady Eddie, 300, he's just 300. Like that's your bat. But then what do you do with Pena?
Yeah.
Do you put Brantley in the 2? Do you put Pena back in the 7? Do you just move it around every game?
Good options, though, right? I think I'm with you with Brantley because your offense right now has been below average. Your ERA, still the best in baseball, even without Lance McCullers. I'm curious who your favorite Astro is of all time.
Sounds like Yuli's up there.
Yuli's up there. I mean, just
you don't want to know what I said about Yuli last year.
Jeremy was very.
I know.
I was
and
very
listen,
critical of Yuli.
But then, okay, so I get it, 242. But there's some guys on that team earlier this year that would have killed for that 242, right?
I would take that over Abreu right now.
And then he comes in and he's the best hitter in the playoffs. 1 strikeout. What did he hit? Like 340, 343.
Big in the
Something
play.
Turned
insane.
it on. Yeah.
Something insane. But I think a lot of that had to do with age and also days off. So that's kind of what we're seeing with him, in Miami right now. He's getting some time off and he's coming. I mean, he was a homer shy of a cycle on Sunday. So
you can't say that, Jeremy.
No, he can't. But
I'm not sure Abreu can run to third base.
he
on
ran pretty
the
dang
home run.
fast on that home run. That was crazy. That was fun to watch.
He did run fast on the home run.
That
You
was
got me
fun to
there.
watch.
You
He
got me
slid
there.
into
Look at his
the
clock
dugout.
time on that. It was pretty good.
That
You
was
got- you got-
17 and
you're
some
right,
change or
you're
something.
right.
Look, I'm rooting for him. I really am. But
Not really though, because you're a Yuli fan.
Would you
I
trade?
am a Yuli fan.
Would you
but I don't
trade
have any choice.
Blankers
Yuli's gone.
to Miami for Yuli Gurriel?
Yeah, I'm gone. I already know that.
Sorry.
I understand
brush up on your Spanish.
I mean, Miami's not a bad place to live.
No, it's not. As long as I get paid well enough to live the right way.
You'll be good.
What's your favorite moment of all time since you've been an Astros fan?
Being there to watch them win last year in Game 6.
Were you on the field?
That was.
Did you get on the field or just?
We didn't get on the field, but we did go. My seats are like right at first base, but in the 300s, so we get this really good view. And then we moved around. I move around a lot. I'll give those away or something, and then go sit in other places. So that's fun. That was probably my most favorite. I mean, obviously, we got a ring, and also
Another
for
one.
Dusty.
That validated 17.
That was crazy. And then going home and just watching all the stuff and seeing Nearest, who I just love. We did it for you. I did it for you. I love the pitching staff. I think they're incredible. I think Maldonado honestly has a lot to do with that. He helped with Javier, Luis Garcia. I mean, these are guys.
Did someone help him hit?
I know. I get that. But if you're looking to your 9 hole for production, I mean, 9 that's gravy. I mean, that's where we used to put the pitcher in the NL, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a bummer that he's not a great hitter, but I think he's basically a second manager out there. So I got one of his gold jerseys just because I feel like he's gonna be a manager.
Oh,
That
Baldy.
means gonna
Yeah, he
lose.
probably will be.
Yeah.
Catchers usually turn into managers. That's a pretty
they
good
do.
call. on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Heather, thanks for stopping by. Good conversation. Anything you want to say before you say goodbye? Our fan spotlight.
Go Stros.
There you go. Heather Hatfield. You can follow her on Twitter at HH77019, season ticket holder and a fan of the Houston Astros.